Hi all, you may have noticed that we're doing something a bit different this week. I'll give you a hint. Do you remember the time Goku and Piccolo learned how to drive? Not a part of saving the world, but still a great memory. That's what this is. These are our filler episodes. Rough takes, weak audio quality, but hidden gems. It's your favorite mixtape that sustained you until the album dropped. This is the Nerds on Hip Hop filler episode.
That was incredible.
It was. I wasn't expecting to like that movie so much. Lupin the Third. What is it? Castle of what?
Cagliostro.
Cagliostro. I cannot remember that for the life of me.
Is this the first time you're watching a Lupin thing overall?
It is. I've never watched anything Lupin the Third at all, so this was a really cool introduction. Because I feel like it gave a good way to introduce the character and kind of like what he's about and kind of the relationship he has with the inspector. Like it kind of gave a little bit of everything. So I'm happy about that.
Each movie does that. This is the second movie I've seen. I've seen the last movie like nearly 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Gosh.
Which movie was that?
I'm probably gonna Google it later so I can tell you. It was that, and then I've seen the first 5 or 7 episodes of the first season of Lupin, the TV show, which is there are 5 seasons now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna look that up. I was like, I wonder how many episodes there are. Because there's been a lot of like top 10 episodes. So I'm like, oh, there must not be that much.
No, there's a lot because there was a new the new season came out last year, and they went to Italy last year, which is a big deal because Lupin got popular in Italy. So now it was like coming home, quote unquote coming home.
Yeah.
But you can tell like the international, even though it's not true, was like the international flair is very clear. Like you can tell that Lupin's heavy involved of like being influenced by capers and stuff like
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I love like a good heist and stuff like that. So this,
Yarhar.
yeah, and I love like Oceans. It's like I love Oceans kind of movies. So I love like these kind of things where it's like, all right, like how are they gonna do this? Like they gotta break out of this like unbreakable place. Figure out how to do that.
I have a strange feeling that you already need to get you to watch more of it because I feel like easily this would be your favorite anime.
I think I would enjoy it if it's more like this, for sure.
And it usually is.
Okay.
I think for me, the thing that stood out, because I saw it in the first few episodes, but I didn't remember it from the last movie, was just like how much of a gadgeteering.
Right. It's so weird because it's a nice blend. Like it's also like obviously this takes place in like a castle with like princesses, so you're thinking like very old, like, but like then he'll break out like the girl, but she had like the necklace that takes
Fujiko.
pictures.
Yes.
And Fujiko, right? And then like him with the gadgets, like that was really cool. Just like
but they're not even like super sophisticated. They're just like a notch. Like it like really places him as this like, I want to say like homegrown burglar, but that's the closest I'm gonna say it.
Sounds right. I think that's it. Like it's almost like a Home Alone, but like when he gets older. Like Macaulay Culkin gets older and decides to become a thief. That's what Lupin is too.
Yeah, I think that like they found a way to match out his personality or just like how he's animated. Like he's just so wiry. Like they animate him that way. Like he's slippery to Zenigata. Like he's slippery to everybody.
I mean, yeah, it's big, but yeah, he is.
But like it's just like how he's animated and how he moves. It's like it's like you never have a settle on him.
No, like that's the one thing I wrote down when we were watching. Like I feel like the show is really, I mean, the movie, a lot of it was so unexpected. Like he never did what I thought he was gonna do, or at least most of the time he never did what I thought he was gonna do. Like in one of the first scenes where they fall off the cliff,
right?
And like he like uses his like suspending thing to thing, and I'm thinking he's gonna pull himself up because obviously like go up to there, and he pulls himself down.
Right.
Like, why would you do that? Like it was just like a weird like little things like that. Like I feel like he does the unexpected a lot,
right?
Which is kind of cool.
What was interesting about this, because Lupin as a character always is one of those things like now I don't want to say why we like him, but it's just like his charm is on 10. And but he also like it rubs people the wrong way all no, because I mean think about what's the first thing Fujiko says to the girl?
Oh, like don't.
He's a rat.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And his relationship with Zenigata. Like there's a certain like all I could think of is a line is like honor amongst thieves. Like like I feel like Zenigata always looks at Lupin as like if you were on the right side of the law, you'd be like the best thing ever happened.
Yeah, that is very true. But
And
it's
there's
just,
like there's this honor about like what he does, even though he's also bad.
yeah, he definitely has a code. I think.
Right, and I think that's what it is. Because even earlier in the film, and it played off not in a creepy way like I thought it was going
I thought it was
to.
going to in a creepy direction too, and I was so happy it did it.
Right, you know the part where he was in the restaurant and he was like,
Oh right, yeah.
and he was like, oh, the Count has a reputation of being a womanizer, and
I
he
do
was doing,
too.
I do too, but it was like, he was playing it just so
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
really silly.
Right, like
Yeah.
I think there's something about like, because he has that reputation
Right.
in a certain sense, so I was surprised that he was able to play it off in a way that wasn't like
Yeah, too creepy.
off-putting. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like a product of its time at all. Actually,
So
that's it.
I think the woman's reaction kind of helped that too, though, because she kind of like went into like the playful, like yeah, okay, like whatever, like. But the part that I thought where it was gonna get creepy, because when he first met her, she was like 9, and I was like, oh god, please don't tell me he's like he's
Also,
really
that's what she was.
he's
Oh, okay.
pursuing this.
Oh, that.
Because like I get like she's older now, obviously, like she's probably 18, but like you met her when she was 9. That's kind of creepy.
The thing is that when he said he started off young, I didn't know
19,
what
actually, he said 10 years.
Right, so I was like, because I don't know what Lupin's age would be by this
They
film.
look the same age, like.
He's right, so it's not like
Nothing
they
changed when they went like 10
The-
years ago.
Yeah, so part of me was kind of like maybe it's just one of those kids where he was 16 and she was 9, because that would look. But I don't know.
Better, but still creepy.
Is it as creepy 10 years later? 26 and 18?
I think so, because you still remember that person when you were
Right.
a kid.
Yeah. I mean,
And then when like he first met, he's like, oh, I tried to lay on the charm, and I was like, wait, what?
yeah, that sounded
That
so
was
off.
I'm hoping that was just like bad translation. Like I guess like just not
Right,
lay
I
on the
mean,
charm,
like,
whatever,
I mean that's who
romantic
he
way.
is too. Like, I feel like
Yeah. So he probably just trying to like win her over because he needs help.
Right.
But I was happy like at the end where he was like,
Nah.
like you gonna find somebody. You too young for me.
Yeah, he was pretty much that. Was like, you don't want to do this.
That too. He was like, you know what this. So yeah, so that was really cool. Also, I just want to point out that the villain said called her a female, and I think that's just.
I'm just gonna put that to good, accurate translation. That's what it is. This is an updated translation for the millennial
God.
generation.
I'm just saying that proves that men should not be called women females.
What? So is everyone who says that going to get like killed by a clock?
Oh my god. Did he talk about how like that's like one of the worst ways to die? I was not.
That was
expecting
macabre. Like, there's so many like certain moments between that and just like going through the cellar.
Yeah, so it was cool. I really liked his like guard crew
Yeah.
with the claws and kind of like the Black Panther helmet.
I'm gonna even just go ahead and say it. This is the most beautiful anime film I've seen. Like, I'm a Shikoto fan. Like, I go stand for that dude, Shinkai's stuff. And there's something about what Shinkai's does in like immense amount of detail. But there's something about like how they use the geography in this play and how it's like how it moves and how luscious it is, and even just like how they bring things together. So like in the beginning of the film where they go into the burnt down place, her castle that was burnt down.
Oh yeah, that was really nice.
And I was like, yo, that's gorgeous. I meant to know that like the end of the film is like the restoration of that by showing like the ruins of Rome preserved.
Yeah, that was really
Like,
So wait, so are you saying this is most beautiful aesthetically or most beautiful as far as like
I've been
the
trying to figure out.
story coming together?
I'm going just aesthetically right now.
Okay. That's funny. I wouldn't say that. I definitely think it was a beautiful film, but it wasn't like the most beautiful. But
Especially in
think
terms of animation. Like, that's really what comes to mind. Like, just like the only things that feel like quote unquote dated are how the guards moved.
yeah, I was saying that's why the animation was probably the weak point for me because.
But I think
it was
think
really
about that
stiff.
car chase. Think about like think about everybody who are not the guards and how they moved.
I feel like everyone else too kind of like was.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean that's just from the time it was. So I can't really like place too much thing on that. But
Especially that car.
the one in the beginning.
The one in the beginning is incredible. And think about like how like close quarters they designed it so that therefore like all the wiriness of their drawing of Lupin works out. Like, it's just like all those small details work together from like a
It
visual
works.
standpoint of just like this is like masterful visually. I mean, that entire castle from like a visual standpoint,
Castle was nice. I really like the castle.
like even the wedding ceremony.
Yeah, can we talk about that? So first off, I was kind of confused because so in the beginning they're supposed to get married. That's where she's running away. But then the wedding dress we see her in the beginning isn't the same wedding dress we see her in at the end.
Right.
So, and then I'm like, okay, and this was obviously the same day as the wedding, I'm guessing.
So
Or was she
yeah,
just
it
trying
feels
on the dress? Because I'm like, well, where were like, did all these guests were just like, oh, I guess we'll wait till the guys put on a wedding. We'll just bring it down and say y'all ready.
yeah. I wonder. I don't know. That's a very good point. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's one of those cases like you've tried to force a ceremony at the beginning, and then it's now just like now because
Be formal.
yeah, since I quote unquote won.
I think that could be it. And I could see someone like, let me just do this wedding, and then like she runs away. He's like, you know what? Let's do this like a different way. Let's get like the media. Let's make this official, just in case you run
Right.
away again. Like
Exactly.
I got proof. I could see that for sure. I just thought I was like, oh, but yeah, that crown, and then like the villain's like head.
This is
gear.
why I talk about like detail. Like
Gorgeous,
talk
yeah.
about how like there's nothing ever gets put away and never used again. Like she comes back, puts down the crown, and then Jigen puts it on top of his
Yeah,
right.
I love that too because I'm like they're thieves, so that's obviously worth some money, you know. So that was cool. That was like a nice little score.
Right. And there's another moment earlier, which I can't remember, where there's like I think it was the ramen noodles like in the middle when they got
All
caught.
the ramen
Like
noodles look so good, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
there's a point in time where it's like either where they got hit with the ramen noodles or something after they put it down, it gets used in the fight. I'm like, it's
Oh, I
like
missed that.
there's like small details like that where it's just like there's nothing like it's go it's the thing that you always hear is like if you put a what a gun at the front of a play, you better use it by act 3. It's like everything gets used.
Yeah, everything definitely gets used. Even like when he's pulling out the gun and then it gets melted. That was really cool too. Also, I think the angles in this were really good. Like this was directed by Hayao Miyazaki, right?
Yeah, I think this is one of his first projects he ever directed.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So like, yeah, I was just thinking, like, there's a point where Lupin is so like, anyway, Lupin slash Wolf. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
It's,
weird translation with that, but they decided not just to keep
Yeah.
Lupin. I mean, I guess it works. It was just like, why are you not keeping it?
it worked, but it was weird because like he's so universally known as Lupin. Like it's not like Usagi and Serena where
Right.
like you switch. Like she's kind of known by both. I feel like Lupin's mostly known as Lupin, but
Lupin.
maybe not. Maybe people know him as Wolf.
Yeah, in your country, what do you know Lupin as? Let us know.
Yeah, true. But at first I thought it was kind of like a code name thing. Like this is his
Yeah.
like thief
I
name.
thought it was like a pet name as well. When she called him Wolf,
Oh right.
because it
that's
was Fujiko called him Wolf,
Yeah.
and what's the name of the girl again?
um, the princess.
Yeah,
I think
what
he just called her princess. Oh
No, she has a
no,
name.
it was Clarice. Because I remember every
Clarice,
time he
yeah.
said that, I kept thinking of hello Clarice. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a weird name because I'm like, this is just bringing me really creepy vibes. But what were you saying?
No, I almost thought it was a pet name at a while because
Right.
they were the first two to say it. Because I can't remember whether or not Jigen
Yeah,
called him that. Did he?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was like okay, this is his nickname or something like they use among themselves. But
Right.
then I forgot who called him that, and I was like, oh wait, no,
Yeah,
this is-
Zenigata. I think Zenigata called him Wolf, and that's.
Yeah, I think that's when it like switched, and I was like, okay, I guess.
Can we talk about his like?
So that was amazing. He's so funny.
And it's one of those things which is like, the way that they play up the relationship between him, Fujiko, and
Yeah, it gives you a
Lupin.
full picture.
like you tell they admire each other about what they're actually trying. Like
Yeah, but they can't stay together.
it's like, and I love that it's just like he points to the basement and Fujiko's like, oh, that's where. I mean, he's
That was
like,
the
I'm
funniest
just
thing.
here to find him.
What a surprise! Oh my god.
It's like that counterfeit stuff. But
Yeah, that was amazing.
he hammed it all the way up. It was great.
Yeah, it was really clever. I think I enjoy cleverness a lot, and this is really
You don't
clever.
say mischievousness is your favorite trait.
Yeah. So I mean, like I think like I have to think for like detective stuff. I like heist stuff. So this is really among that same vein. So I really liked it. But yeah, I was saying the angles before, like when he's climbing the castle, they have like an angle from like I think the top, and he's like climbing up towards the camera, then he falls, and then tries to climb back up. Like things like that, just like it's an angle. I can't remember if I've ever seen it in animation before. It's just
Yeah.
really cool.
There are a few small details, like I don't know if you remember at the beginning when you see the flags and the flag is still kind of cut off, like small things. Yeah.
Definitely paid attention to the details for sure.
I mean the musical score, jeez, like
That's some good stuff.
I
love
want to
the last
sample
song.
everything.
Should download it. The album. Sure there is. Yeah, I really love the end song. The end song was really pretty. It was good. Yeah. Even like his, I don't want to say his henchmen, Lupin, but I guess his partners. They were really cool to just. I mean, they didn't get much screen time. I was hoping for more, but I'm glad that his partner, the main one, I forgot his name too, was just reduced to like throwaway side character, you know?
Wait, you mean Lupin's partners?
Yeah.
Jigen? And I keep forgetting the other guy's name.
Sword guy.
Well,
Yeah, but I thought both of them, like, they were a bit plain to me at first, so they seemed super, like, as I guess opposed to Lupin. Like, Lupin has a very distinct style, where the other two seem kind of typical.
I think they. I don't think Lupin could have handled. In Lupin's main camp, you can't have. I mean, I'm sure like you need people who are just a little bit more stoic.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like it's clearly between Zengada and Fujiko. You got too much personality, Rocket. Like you need some people who are just gonna dial it back just a little bit.
That's true. Yeah, but I was just happy that like they weren't boring.
Yeah, no.
That's what I was.
I like
worried
Jigen
about.
a lot.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes it feels like just even from a design standpoint, Jigen stands out even more than the other two. I'd go that far.
Really?
I like his design a lot. Like I would, even though his suit is more quote unquote straightforward, I think the hat, the lack of seeing his eyes, things like that, just always still make it from like a visual standpoint stand out as much as the rest of him.
I
Like
guess if someone cosplayed him, I would recognize it.
yeah,
If they did it like spot on. For sure. But yeah, I would love to cosplay Lupin though. That'd be so dope.
yeah, and he's had several other outfits. So I'm curious which one you might actually stick with.
Oh, I don't know why I thought this was like his.
This is the most iconic.
Okay, alright.
But this is because this is what he does in the first season as well.
Okay.
And I think a couple other movies, but he's done other ones.
It's funny. And the other thing I was thinking, I was like, I feel like you could cosplay him, but also it would be the same cosplay for Darian and Serena with the green jacket. Technically. Except like,
But that's with a turtleneck.
yeah, I need a black turtleneck instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no tie.
Yeah, there's something
But
about
same
that teal.
jacket, maybe?
There's something about that teal jacket.
I
Because
think
it's like
Darian's-
you have same thing with Darian, you have the same thing with Yusuke.
Alright.
There's something about that
Teal is
teal jackets.
Yeah. Sometimes Darian's looks a little olive, but
Right.
it definitely is in the same vein. But yeah. I liked it.
So
One to
we're
ten.
we gonna get you to watch more Lupin then.
Yeah, definitely. I was just about to look it up right before we started recording. I wanted
Yeah,
to.
I'll see which one I watched before because I have that on DVD.
Cool. Yeah, I want to see how many episodes there are. What do you give it? 1 through 10?
It's an A plus. This is one of the best movies I've seen. Period. In terms of like making high stuff really interesting. I almost asked you if you wanted to watch it again on this channel.
I'm not ready to watch it again just yet,
Right.
but I would watch it again. But I think I gave it like 9 or 10. Like I can't see anything wrong with it. Like it was pretty perfect
Right.
film. Only thing I think I would have liked, because I kind of like the reveals at the end. I wish he would have actually stole something, or like showed Woody like if he stole something.
I think one of the key things that's always important to Lupin stuff from just a little bit of stuff I see is like for it to always never not work out. Like it's almost a Peter Parker stuff of just like it could never go right. It's like even the heist at the beginning when he steals all the money, you find out it's counterfeit. Like I feel like that's kind of a part of the Lupin stuff that I experience. Like I feel like he wins, but he never gets the big win.
Got it. Okay.
So I feel like that's why I thought this ending was like, oh yeah, that's a classic Lupin thing. It's like you can't take this with you.
Okay. So I guess I just didn't know that like was a
Right.
theme within his stuff.
I could be wrong. There might be other movies where that doesn't happen. I don't remember how it goes in the show, but I know the other movie I watched, it was.
I mean, that would make sense though, because I mean, if he did get that, he probably would stop. I mean, he probably wouldn't stop, but you know, he was probably
Can't
slowed
stop,
down.
won't stop.
Yeah. But I mean, they did get the crown. I just wish like maybe like I guess we get what was his partner's name?
Jigen.
Gene?
Jigen.
G?
Jigen.
Jigen.
Oh, right. It's Jigen and Gorman. That's what they call the other guy.
Okay. I wish Jigen had the crown on his head still while they were driving.
Yeah,
That would have been like a
small rule.
A small, yeah. That would, but other than that, I really loved it.
So, these are the Chronicles to Atlanta.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Elena. Bye.